Hello, welcome to Thursday night reading, writing, whatever you want, sprints. I'm joined by two lovely friends tonight who haven't been on that often, so I'll give them a little introduction. It's not like the Ashlyn and Alex that have been my regular companions this past few weeks. So Jen is a friend who is a bookstagrammer and YouTuber and talks about all kinds of mainly spooky books I think we have in common, but you read like loads of other stuff too. And then Kat writes the spooky book. So Kat is the author of Harrow Lake and Wicked Little Deeds. I realised I just pointed down, but I don't know where you'll actually have appeared on the screen. So I'm just going to, I'm sure everybody knows who you are. You need no introduction, Kat, but I've given you one just in case. So we've all had a chat beforehand to just establish how we're all doing. But seems to be quite a nice chilled night tonight, hopefully, in the chat for us to get some stuff done. So do you want to start us off, Jen, and tell us, are you planning to read in the
Yes,
tonight?
I am planning to read. And I want to know if you've read this one as well, actually, because you've recently been on a bit of a Junji Ito kick, haven't you?
Yes,
I've decided I've picked up Smashed, and I'm sort of making it my mission to read the majority of what I own by him this year, I think, sort of unofficially. So this is another one of the short story collections. And I think there's like 13 Chilling Nightmares by the Master of Horror. And so far I'm enjoying it. I am really enjoying it. Some things are just so graphic.
It really
is. So gory. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But that's up my street. Like, I do enjoy a bit of horror manga. So that's what I'll be reading.
No, I have not read that one. I've got it on my shelf, but I keep buying them because they're 3 for 2 in Forbidden Planet. So every time I go in Forbidden Planet, I seem to buy 3 more. So I'm kind of buying them faster than I've managed to read them lately. Although, have you got No Longer Human? I read No Longer Human recently, and that is wild. It is.
I haven't yet read it, but it's a chunky one, isn't it? I'm looking at it right now. It's a massive one.
Just be prepared. It's meant to be based on autobiography, and I was like, how wild can autobiography be? It turns out very. It's like the darkest thing I've read, yeah, and very strange. Like I'm not even sure what I read, to be honest. So that one scarred me a little bit, so I've like not read any for a little while. Have you read that one, Kat? I know you're the one that I blame you for the Junji Ito obsession, because Kat said to me, "Have you read this book called Uzumaki? It's really good and will really mess with you." And I was like, "Okay, deal. I'm gonna read it." And then the
rest is history.
Yeah, I'm not sorry about that whatsoever. I've got Smashed. I haven't read it yet, but I've got a full shelf there of Junji Ito books that I think I've read about half of the ones I've got. Probably not half of this entire collection though. But yeah, I do love them.
Nice.
Excellent. That's good. So if we see Jen pulling like shocked, appalled faces, we know why. She does like a little gip in her mouth like that. I mean, sometimes there's very few books do I have to put down and like walk away from, and occasionally with his, I'm like, I just need a little break from that. I don't want to be
intense, don't they? It's because you can see it, like the illustrations really brings it to life. And oftentimes I'm like, hold on a minute, let me just digest.
Have you read the Shiver short story anthology? That one's really good, but some of the visuals and there's one about a disease of holes in the body.
Holes made me so uncomfortable. I didn't realise I had an issue with holes until I read that, and now
maybe
it's everywhere. Maybe I didn't have one. You're right. It's manifested.
Yeah, just kind of giving everybody loads of phobias. A girl at work was saying how she doesn't like it. Like there's the thing of not liking like the spots on the back of mobile phone. Like, don't read any Junji Ito books.
Stay away.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll be prepared for Jen's faces as she's reading that. How about you, Kat? Are you reading or writing tonight?
I am actually editing this evening. I got some edits to do this morning on a short story for your anthology. So I'm not allowed to say much about the story itself, but I'll be working on the edits for that while we sprint.
Well, and I've already confessed to Kat that I am going to be reading that short story. So awful me reading Kat's own story in front of her. Sorry about that. Because the way the anthology is working, as people are sending their stories in, some of them I'm reading for the first time because I've only read the pictures of them. So in case anybody's wondering what the heck I'm talking about, it's the A Taste of Darkness anthology that is young adult UK way horror authors, and then some people you wouldn't expect. Like we've thrown Louise Stoll in there, and she's written a brilliant story. And Mia Kuznia, who writes beautiful historical romantic things, can also scare the pants off us as well. So it's like the people who everybody knows are spooky, like me and Kat, and then a few wild cards that are like secret spooky people. So I'm going to be reading that, sorry, Kat, and also reading my own book because I was just confessed to Jen and Kat that I can remember some things that I wrote in the first book in the Mina series, but I am writing book 3, so I want to check that I've not accidentally written stuff in that I don't remember. So I'm going to be doing lots of things tonight. So if you see me pulling a face, Kat, it may be at my own disasters, not your story. And I also want to say you to this. Have either of you read In Nightfall yet?
No, I have not.
Look at that cover. It is. I thought I'd show it. Well, I've got you two on together. It's a bit. This light isn't great. But it's female Lost Boys retelling, so it's gender flipped.
That
and
sounds
it's so good. I read a really early ebook, kind of early in the process one. So I'm looking forward to reading the kind of finished, polished version.
That sounds amazing.
It's so gorgeous. I mean, when you get a book and you loved it, and then the cover is just gorgeous as well. So everybody in the chat, this is my tip to you tonight to read this book because it's awesome. Let's see who we've got with us tonight. Hello. I don't know if that's meant to be an eek or whether that's homage to the fact that I'm from Yorkshire and Charlie's saying eck, because we do say that. So whichever it is, Charlie. Hi,
Charlie.
Oh, dear.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Oh, you get some extra little hearts, Kat. Hi, Ellie. Hello. Okay, excellent. So we'll see you later. Ooh, that's one of the. I always get the Cassandra Clare books mixed up. Is that the Lady Midnight series?
I feel like I recognise that as. I've still not read those books, any of them. I keep meaning to.
As in, none of them, Mortal Instruments.
None of them. Nothing.
Okay.
It's a big task.
About them now. I read the first ones. Probably, I think in my early 20s, the first ones came out. So yeah, I don't know. I can't say whether I recommend them because it's been 15 years since I've read them.
Wow! Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I know. I'm aging myself now.
I would not have thought that.
Oh, it was so funny. I'll just tell you this one thing, Jen. So the other day, one of your old videos popped up on our YouTube. Sometimes does, and it said something about your GCSEs.
No,
wait,
no.
Is she 16? That's really confusing. No, I'm pretty sure
that video keeps getting pushed out. My other half the other day, he was like, "Is that you?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." And it just came up on his feed. It's so embarrassing. So embarrassing.
Because you kind of haven't aged very much since then. So well done, you.
Thank you.
Excellent people there. Yeah, it was just really funny. I think for a moment he was like, it's like a 15-year-old. That's really weird. I was like, I don't think so. Because she works in education. Okay.
Oh God.
So yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, just YouTube, isn't it?
Coming back to me.
You kind of want the internet. You want to forget, and it just throws it in your face. Facebook does this thing occasionally. Here's your memory from 10 years ago, and I'm like, oh good, on a hen do dressed as Wonder Woman. I needed to see that. Thanks, YouTube. Instant delete. Yeah. Do you want to share this on your profile again?
No, it's a memory for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Oh gosh. Is that one book? Is that 2 books? Anybody on screen know about that? Intriguing.
Oh, the 5th season. Jameson, I think, but I don't know the Stone Blind. Is that? I feel like that's a Medusa book. Maybe not. I don't know.
If that is a Medusa book, that's a good title.
That could be really cool. But yeah, the 5th season I've been wanting to read.
Okay. Excellent.
The Broken Earth trilogy. Something like that.
I'm glad there's people on screen who know what they're talking about because I'm just I've been in an editing and writing hole for so many years. This little patch of time that I've just completely missed. I hope you're still enjoying it, Kasha. That one looks really good. Have you read that, Kat? I feel like that might have been on your radar, that one.
Yeah, it's definitely one that's on my list to read soon. It has been on my list for a couple of months now since it came out. But yeah, it looks amazing.
It does. We love as a YA murder mystery, don't we?
Yeah.
Yay, Charlie. So I'm assuming that's fantasy, Charlie, if Charlie's wrecking it. Oh, sorry, all the comments are jumping. There's lots of you tonight. Yes, I really want to read it. Awesome. Glad you're enjoying it. The Book of Life. Is that there's a film of the Book of Life? Is that connected to that, or the is it Guillermo del Toro? There's a film of it.
I love Del Toro.
Yeah, me too.
Love.
I need to read more of the books actually because I've seen there's books of he's written The Strain. He wrote The Strain, didn't he? And then there's novelizations of a lot of his films that he writes himself. Look really good.
Really
okay,
good.
if Charlie says we need to read it, what was that, the 5th season?
I think
Witch's
so.
Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. That sounds very cute and cozy.
Oh, I think I've recently added that to my TBR. Sounds really fun.
Yeah, don't read the Shiver anthology, particularly the Junjito one. Just don't go near it, definitely.
Yeah, you'll be scarred for life.
Yeah. Oh yeah, thank you. Okay, it was Dark Artificers. Yeah, that's the proper name, not Lady Midnight series. I don't know. Yeah, I enjoyed them. However, I listened to the audiobook read by James Masters, so I feel like I can't comment on the book because I was just like, James Masters is so good at doing audiobooks. And I listened to the Dresden Files series, and again, I can't objectively tell you whether they're good books just because I love James
wound
Masters.
by the voice.
Yeah, I know. He's got a really great audiobook voice. If you ever want like really soothing audiobook, yeah, the ones that he does great. Hi, Caroline. I keep seeing this pop up.
I loved that book by Bella Mackie, I think. Oh, it was so good. It's so good.
Year? I feel like I've seen it around.
Yeah, it's got that. I think there's a few different cover alternatives, but the one that I recognise is the bright pink, and she's like holding a spade or something.
Yeah.
It's like a silhouette. It's so it was so good. It's like a dark kind of comedy, I guess you'd say, but it had some really like deep conversations as well, which I was shocked about. Yeah. So I'd recommend it. It's good.
I don't think I've read anything by Bella Mackie before, but yeah, I keep seeing that cover and being really tempted by it. Oh yeah, I thought it was 2 separate books, but I just wasn't sure. Hello. Oh, I'm glad you read Enjoying House of Hunger. I really enjoyed that one. That's anybody interested? It's a retelling of like the Elizabeth Bathory, the bloodthirsty countess story. The girl goes to be a blood maid for her in this kind of mysterious world where young women kind of give themselves and their blood, and then they get really good money for it kind of when they're older, like they can kind of live in comfort, but they've got to go through these years of being kind of enslaved to somebody, I guess, for their blood. So yeah, it's really dark and deals with I don't know, there's a lot of parallels with history and stuff like that. So yeah, but it's really good. And, okay, yeah.
Yes,
you are just like absolutely killing it with the books tonight. I'm going, is that 2 books at one? And just like, let me tell you about the history topic. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, the Discovery of Witches.
I was going to suggest that as well, but I was like, is it not?
You did just like got all of them so far. We're not keeping score, but you're doing very, very well.
You know.
But would I like it, Charlie? Is it so fantasy that I won't understand what's happening? That's the question. Oh, yes. Okay, Charlie has offered YA Rex. Particularly, I think UK YA, Charlie's an expert. Fantasy, horror, all sorts. She can sort you out. Let's have a think. Yeah, I need to read them. I liked the first book. I haven't read the rest. Yeah, that's the age-old problem, isn't it? Where you go, yeah, I've got that. Have you read it? No. I've got that. No. I think there's a meme of that, isn't there? Yeah, thank you, Charlie. You know me. You do know me. A reread. Oh, that's nice. We like having a comfort series. Excellent. Okay. Yes. According to Charlie, anybody who likes high fantasy, 2 fantasy for me. I'm slowly. Have you read Legends and Lattes, either of you? I've just read that.
Oh, recently. I haven't yet. I haven't. I'm getting into that magical, cozy fantasy though. I'm liking the idea.
It says on the front, what does it say? Something like, oh, Charlie will tell me, I'm sure. It's like low stakes, good coffee.
High fantasy or something like that.
Yeah, high fantasy, low stakes, good company or something. And it's I think she's an orc. It's like an orc who sets up a coffee shop in a world that kind of hasn't had coffee yet. So she's doing things like introducing cinnamon buns to the masses.
That's so cute.
There's mild peril, but it's so mild I can really cope with it. If you want to decompress, it's like a really gorgeous book. It's excellent.
Oh.
So yeah, I keep thinking I don't read loads of fantasy, and then I read stuff like that, and I'm like, maybe I do. Yes.
Maybe.
I knew Charlie's there. Look, high fantasy, low stakes, good company.
Nice.
Just, I feel like Jen and Charlie at this point, like, you can just keep me on track when the book knowledge is like going off. Like, I think we're in a bit of a niche, aren't we, Kat? It's like, but if there's anybody die in it, if not, maybe
anybody die in it. Oh my god.
I mean, I love fantasy, but I find that if I listen to it on audiobook, I really, really enjoy it on audiobook, but I don't read it. So
physically, like. Okay.
Maybe I should try that then, because I think that there is something to be said for audiobooks. Like I'm listening to, oh god, I've forgotten the name of it. Let the Right One In, the audiobook. And it's a little bit slow to get off the ground, but I think because it's an audiobook, I can kind of, the bits that are slow, I think I tune out slightly or I put them on a bit faster. So it is good for kind of getting you through something that you would maybe have DNF'd, which I'm really shocked about, actually. I thought it might be quite intense, but it's taking its time to get going. Have you read it, either of you?
I've not. No, I've not.
Maybe I should have watched the film. I made a mistake. I thought I'm going to read the book first and then watch the film. But
I've seen the film.
Yeah, maybe I should do that. It's kind of skip.
Oh dear.
It's fine. It's one of those, though, I just like, I haven't got the little vampire girl yet, which I don't think is a spoiler because it's just the promo and stuff. And I'm like, I've listened to a lot of it and I've not got to it yet. So it's just taking a bit to get to what I thought was the story. Yes, sorry, what is your YouTube channel?
I do. It's Peace and Cookies. I think I've got it in my little name somewhere on the screen. I don't know.
I can't see it on my screen, but I think I see a different view. But I will get Kev to pop it in the comments.
Thank
but
you.
He's just gone off to do something to the cars, as he does. I'll get him to do it in a bit. Handy comments. I will persevere, Kasha. I will. It hasn't immediately grabbed me, but the audiobook I think will help. I'm just gonna keep plugging away at it. Okay, so I think it's time to go to a sprint. I think, Jen, you may end up ducking out during this.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed the sprint, and then you can come back on a night where you're not busy. We will see everybody else on the other side. I'm going to use Pomodoro Kitty, so it will meow at you in 40 minutes. So thank you, Jen, and thanks, Kat. And we will see you on the other side. Yeah, the cat got me as usual. I thought I was prepared. I wasn't prepared. Like, not even a little bit. And you're used to cats meowing. Did it get you?
I was actually ready for this one because I'd reached a stopping point with my work, so I was watching it count down from 12 seconds like this.
Yeah, I was just frantically writing because I've got a little bit behind today, and you know that point where you're at like that every word counts part of the deadline, where it's like you just need to write so much a day to keep it going. I'm kind of there and just fallen a bit behind today, so the panic was like, need to get some done. But I started off by reading your story, and it was so good. It was so good.
Thank you.
I think I held my breath for like the last 4 pages. You know that breath you didn't realize you were holding, and I just like the YA books.
Don't tell me I put one of those in there.
No, it's really funny and really scary. It was so good. Yeah. So I feel very happy now. And I think that's all of them that I've read now. So yeah, I know what we're getting, and everybody should be very excited. It's going to be great. I really can't wait to see it as a book and to kind of read it all in one go. So yeah, thank you for that, Kat. You started off my sprint in a really, really fun way. Terrifying myself. So let's see what the people in the comment are doing. I mean, Charlie has the best taste. I think Charlie has a whole UK YA shelf, and it just has like all the books on it. It's so good, Charlie's room. Yes, so in the comments, let us know if you've read anything good and how much you've read. I think I managed to read a decent length short story, write a few hundred words, I think. I could just do with writing a few hundred more in the next one at least. That would be very good. Don't know whether anybody else is going to comment. So maybe I'll just ask you something actually, Kat, while you're here, and then we can maybe go to another sprint. So I was wondering, what are you reading at the minute? Because I know you've read some really good stuff recently. Like I've just read Burn the Negative, Josh's book. It was so good.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, is there anything else that we need to read that is on your radar or that you're reading at the minute?
Yeah, I mean, I was very lucky to have read Burn the Negative very, very early on, so I know it's brilliant, and can't wait for everybody else to get to read it. I'm going to be very smug now and say I have another early copy of a book that's going to be coming out. This one's coming out in May. It's a YA romance by Cecilia Viness, and it's a queer fake dating trope book called The Girl Next Door. I've read Cecilia's other 2 romances before this, and fantastic. This one is just as fantastic, and it's just the best kind of book, I think, going from spring into summer that everybody's going to want to read because it just has those vibes.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I need to add that to my list. What did Cecilia write before this? Because I feel like her name's really familiar.
Yeah, she wrote 7 Days of You, and the other one was called...
Sorry, put you on spot now.
I'm going to need to... Hang on. Let me consult my shelf. It is behind me. The Summer of Us and 7 Days of You.
I think it's The Summer of Us that I've read. Yeah, I need to. I do always really enjoy romance when I read it. I kind of forget because I always just want to read murdery things. Then I'm like, actually, really cute romances are great too. I just read one recently, which I've of course completely blanked on the name. I'll have to go and grab it in the next sprint. Which is a fake dating book about a girl who ends up fake dating like a movie star / TV star, and she's moved to China, which is sort of her family home, and she's bounced around for years and years and kind of starts to feel like she belongs, and she's fake dating this beautiful boy. And yeah, that's really good too. I'll go and grab it because I've just totally spaced out on the name. Yeah, I think you're right. It is a good time of year for romance and kind of uplifting and hopefulness.
Yeah, I know people probably don't sort of expect me to be giving the romance recommendations given what I write, but yeah, I like to read things like this at certain times of the year especially.
Yeah, and I think it's good, isn't it, to read a little bit out of your normal lane, because I sometimes read like 5 YA thrillers in a row, and as much as I love them, I'm starting to see where these are going now. I need to like read something else, do something else to kind of refresh a little bit, which is why the fantasy is taking me by surprise lately.
I quite like reading other genres as well, because you could be reading a romance, and my brain being what it is, I'm quite often reading things and thinking, but what if something really terrible happened here?
Yeah.
So it's giving me story ideas even when I'm reading outside of my usual writing genre.
Yeah, that's cool. That I suppose it'll probably take you in different directions, won't it? You wouldn't necessarily have done if you hadn't picked up something like that. Charlie says it's not just one shelf; it's 4 shelves now. At some point, it's going to be a UKYA room, isn't it? And like the rest of the house is just the books are going to have to spill out.
But, yeah, I was just thinking Charlie must have a library by this point.
Yes, there are a lot of books. I love the fact she's got a whole like fantasy shelf that's organised into sort of niches. I don't know whether intentionally or just that's the way it's happened. So if you say to Charlie, I need a fantasy book with queer rep and dragons and something, and she'll go, that's this section.
Yeah, this whole pile.
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, and you say insane, I say brilliant. So it's very impressive. I think then if we go to sprint, you are going to have to vanish at 9, aren't you? Because you've got a Zoom that I'm also going to try and jump on if I can manage. I've got my phone here. So if you see me chatting away in the next sprint, I am talking to actual people, not myself. Including technology, isn't it? We're jumping from one way of talking to each other seamlessly to another one. So yeah, we will go to the sprint. So let us know in the comments. It will just be me when you come back after it. I'll do one more 40-minute sprint and then a 30-minute one. And so we'll be wrapping up about 10 o'clock probably. So I'll pop us on the sprint and then we'll say bye to Kat. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me again.
I'll see for a little while and then slip away during the sprint, I guess. So yeah, I appreciate it. I always love chatting to you. Hopefully in real life at some point. I keep saying this, don't we? But another 6 month versus. Yes, we have a good excuse because we've got a book coming out together. So I feel like this needs to be the year of it happening.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's go to a sprint and I'll see everybody on the other side. Hello, and you are just left with me. So Kat had to go to a Zoom chat which we're going to have, but has ended up being cancelled, so I wasn't just chatting to myself. I managed to meet my deadline. Just realised that my computer's doing something weird. 1 second. I managed to meet my daily word count, which I'm really happy about. So I've decided to just do something fun in the last minute, which, I mean, writing is fun, but it's also work. So I think I'm going to get a jigsaw out. I just borrowed my mum's jigsaw board. And my friend bought me a Dracula jigsaw for Christmas, so I'm going to crack into that. I'm not sure what that message is about, whether it's about the last sprint. The Pomodoro Kitty is being a bit weird, so if you heard it meow, it's been on a little bit of a delay for some reason tonight, so sorry if it's doing strange things on your end. Hello! Yeah, we've had a productive sprint so far. We've had a couple of guests coming and going, and now just left with me. That sounds really cool. I mean, that sounds like my TBR list too, to be fair, Ashlyn. I just cannot catch up with everything. Charlie saying hello. Thank you, everybody, saying hello to Ashlyn. We're glad to have you here. If anybody's wondering, Ashlyn's also the author of YA books. Hers is Big Bad Me, a werewolf and vampire book that is really, really fun. I'm not surprised, Charlie. This happens to me regularly as well. Usually when I'm trying to take a picture for YouTube or Instagram or something, the stack of books kind of takes me out. Hope you're okay. I think the comments have gone quiet, so we will probably just jump onto the sprint. I'm going to do half an hour, I think, for the last one as usual. So let me just change that. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you want to chat about. Charlie is still around. He was offering book recommendations, so if you want to ask Charlie for a rec, she is here in the comments, and I'm going to pop on the timer and then see you all in half an hour. Hello, that was it. Last sprint. Just going to jump to the comments and then I think we will call it a night. Yeah, I mean, knowing Charlie, it could be either, so. Oh, I hope I have that video too. Oh, that sounds so fun. I'm so behind on filming TikTok stuff. I really need to do it. So that is it. Thank you for joining me for sprints tonight. I feel like I got some productive writing done. I started my Dracula jigsaw. I don't really be able to see this, but it comes with a poster and it's absolutely amazing. The jigsaw has got all little details of scenes from the book, and Dracula is, unsurprisingly, my favourite classic. So I think this is going to be really fun. I've not got very far yet. I've just been sorting through pieces, but I think I'm going to enjoy it so far. So thank you, everyone. I will be doing sprints again next week. I've got some exciting announcements coming up, like the title of Mina 3. So stay tuned for that, and hopefully I'll see you on sprints next week. Thank you for coming. I don't know which part of that is amazing, but appreciate it, Charlie. Okay, I'm going to go, so hopefully I will catch up with you all soon. Bye.